Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? With your host, the unapologetic diva, Dr. G, the girlfriend therapist, Dr. Cortina Lewis, and the networking extraordinaire, Diana Richardson Philippus. Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? This is Herspiration Happy Hour. Happy Wednesday, ladies.
Happy Wednesday.
I know you all are like kind of shocked, like what the hell just happened? Because the intro came on first. So let me just tell you that StreamYard is doing things a little bit differently. So when you pop in the intro and it starts, it automatically plays it versus getting the opportunity to say something first and then getting it started. But you know what? We can go right into it. This is your unapologetic diva, Dr. G.
This is Dr. Cortina Lewis, aka the girlfriend therapist.
This is Diana Richardson Philippus, your networking extraordinaire.
And I am Chavez Walker, the coach of courage.
All right, ladies. So we got so many different things to celebrate. But first of all, we're going to have things to discuss. We have one thing to celebrate, which is why Dr. Lewis is going to have to step off a little bit early today. But do you have our drink for today before we
I think that we are going to drink. Well, to honor, the reason why I have to leave early today is my bonus son won first place out of the whole entire school for the spelling bee, and he has advanced to districts. So that is amazing. He is only 7 years old, and he is going against fourth graders and fifth graders. So that is amazing. So
it is.
I'm not going to say in lieu, but to help celebrate that, I think that we should do a bee cocktail. And so basically what it is Uncle Nearest, some whiskey with some honey in it, and a splash of soda water. So that is just the sweet bee drink to represent the bee. And then if you just want to do a mocktail, what you can do is you can just have some regular honey with some Sprite or some salsa water, something really light, really refreshing, and garnish it with the lime if you like.
All right. Sounds good. I've had a few little different whiskey, drinks or cocktails.
Like Tennessee honey and stuff like that?
But no, not with the Tennessee honey. I can't even the name of it, but it wasn't bad. I was like, maybe I can get used to a little bit of the smokiness of a whiskey. Yeah, I think that's one of the things I like. And I think that's why I also like the smokiness in different tequilas. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Okay. So, before we really get started, it would be dismissive to not discuss some of the things that are going on over in LA. And our hearts and, prayers go out to all of the families that are, having to deal with not even just losing homes, but losing, pieces of themselves. Our homes are our places of respite and peace, and where we keep mementos and things that mean a lot to us. And people are going home to, nothing. Everything is just laying on the ground and burned. And if you think about those who are living in those spaces are now having to resort to wearing masks because it is very toxic to be breathing in all of this different smoke and whatnot. And they're still fighting these. So shout out to the firefighters who are consistently added and coming in from even different states to lend a hand to the firefighters that are in LA. So do any of you have anything that you want to say regarding the fires and whatnot that's taking place in California?
I just have two cousins that lost their houses. Everything. Wow. They live in Altadena. And they lost everything. So it's, I'm not directly impacted by it, but my cousins are living it every day. And it's just very unfortunate. I couldn't imagine losing history, legacy, heirlooms, all of those very sentimental things that even if you gave me triple what my house was worth, I will never be able to get those pieces of my life back. I remember personally, I just lost a photo album, and this had to be about 25 years ago, and I still get impacted by the memories that were in the pages of those of that photo album. And so continued prayers and positive words to the individuals that are having to navigate that.
Yes.
Absolutely. I too have family, a good bit of family in California. Thank God, they are not being impacted right now. They are okay. However, they did say, I was watching the news, that there's a potential for the fires to start back up due to some gusting winds, and it's moving closer now to LA. I think that's what they were saying in that area. So right now, my family is okay, but that still doesn't, diminish how I feel for the people,
Yeah.
Around California. That, I mean, it's unbelievable, so many fires in so many different places, and just the impact that it's having. I was watching last night, it was a gentleman who was being interviewed on the news, and he was just talking about the fire and how he and his wife, they were able to get out, but his cousin who was with them, they were separated for, in the midst of trying to get everything out. And hopefully that isn't covering my face, is it? Can you guys see me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. How his cousin was found in her car,
Oh, wow.
burnt, didn't make it. And, that just brought tears to my eyes, because I'm just like, Lord have mercy, like, I don't know. We will find out why, or if this was a deliberate thing that's going on, because it certainly seems like it. But I just don't have any words. It's very sad.
Yeah.
A
That
lot
is.
of our, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Pam, a lot of our Clubhouse people were tragically impacted. Stephanie lost her business,
Oh,
which
wow.
was only a couple of miles away from her home. Her home, thank God, was not impacted. But then on the other spectrum, a couple of people that I know personally, they lost their businesses. They lost their homes. And I mean, I watched them from beginning to end build the business, and the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into community, even coming together to just stack the blocks to build things, to try to cut the cost and expenses of getting the business up and going. Homeless shelters that were impacted, people that are really diligent about serving in the homeless community, just to hear them mourn the people that were lost because they didn't even have shelter. They didn't have anybody to call to seek shelter, to get out. And a lot of homeless people lost their life. A lot of people just were tragically impacted. There were some that were able to check in and mark themselves safely, safe, but others, lots of people lost their lives, and they haven't even been accounted for because they were already not being accounted for. A lot of veterans that were homeless, they haven't been able to find them, and no one was looking for them. So now you become even more so a Jane or a John Doe, and I'm a visual thinker. So when I think about things, I can visually see like things happening, and that's crushing. It was crushing. It's devastating to hear that.
Yeah.
I also think the worst part is making this a political issue. I don't understand why there has to be blame at a time like this. I don't think people who are directly impacted by this are worried about the how right now. They just know that I need help right now. We can worry about that later, and for us to have an administration who coming in that claims to be the party of peace and coming together, it certainly does not look like that. It doesn't. And if we're talking about celebrities, when Chloe tweeted what she tweeted and was blaming the mayor of LA, she is only the mayor of LA, not of every place, not LA County, which is totally different.
Right.
And so not even understanding where you live and who your elected officials are is the most ignorant thing that I don't even understand how you don't know that and you cannot make that distinction. And to spread such lies on a platform as big as yours, that is really problematic. And there was also a guy who tweeted something. It got like a couple million views, retweets about how it was either Oregon or Washington sending their fire trucks and was saying that they were going to be held up by emissions and might not get there. Mind you, the trucks had already arrived the night before. And so he did go back and correct it. However, the impressions that he got were not as much as the millions of people who were reading the false narratives that are out there. And so I think it's very unfortunate and just disgusting that people are okay with spreading stuff without knowing the facts first. And that's going to continue to polarize us.
Yes.
The real unfortunate part, is that people who have these platforms and they are spreading these false narratives, is that the people who are viewing their followers, they want to hear the negativity. They want to engage. I believe that they are fully aware in some cases that they are false narratives, that these are not truths, but it's a vicious cycle that has begun, and it's just getting ramped up again. I mean, just wait. Like we already know what's getting ready to happen for the next 4 years, repeatedly. Even. And I'll say it because I really don't care. This is my personal view. But even, the president-elect, he was even talking trash. I'm not going to get off on that because I'm being positive in 2025. But yes, Cortina, you are correct. And it's just getting started.
So I would say the only thing that I feel like the conversation that should be driven politically would be the state of emergency getting federal funds. Now, so let me here's how I feel. For years, decades, centuries, we have been sending taxpayers' dollars abroad to help other countries rebuild or build or establish themselves. I would not mind whatsoever for billions of tax dollars to go to California to help rebuild and make corrections and fix things, because we've been doing it to billions of dollars. And right now, because the government has not passed the appropriation bill for 2025, this is an opportunity to repurpose those dollars. This is an opportunity to make those corrections before that appropriation bill passed. Sorry, pull some of this money back from abroad, taxpayers' dollars, mind you, abroad. And these same people who are paying taxes in California need to have some of that money back. They need to be able to see billions of dollars be poured into California to rebuild all of these structures that have been burned down.
How much is Elon Musk worth? I'm just asking. How much is he worth?
Oh, billions.
A lot.
Yeah. I think he has enough to fix everything, because they say it's going to cost about $250 billion. And so since he wants to be a part of everything so bad, you want to be briefed on what's happening, but you ain't coming with no purse or no checkbook or no bank account or no wire transfer or no cashier's check, no money
Nothing.
order. They're not coming with anything except for criticism. And I was so glad that fire marshal or chief, I'm not sure which one it was able to set him straight while he was trying to perpetuate this negativity as if they're not doing what they need to do. Yeah. Like they said, even if the fire hydrants were dry, there was no way that at the rate at which they were pulling water from so many different places that they still would have been able to contain and control the fire. Mother Nature has a mind of its own. When the winds get gusty, did y'all see that fire
tornado? I did. And I was mortified. I couldn't even imagine
fire
being
tornado.
There. Yeah. Mortified.
How we gonna fight that? That's like freaking. We need the Marvel characters or something to come down from the sky or something. Listen. You know. And again, I just I wish that Elon would be good for something and open up the purse strings and say, you know what, we ain't got to raise funds, because if he so much loves this country, because he wants, I think Elon is the president-elect and Trump
he was giving people $1 million checks at the rallies. Cut the check, Elon. Cut the check.
He only wanted it for his own stuff. But if he helps, then guess what? It cuts down on the rhetoric and the divisiveness, because everybody will be fixed, and now won't got nobody to blame, because now everything is, we're working in kumbaya mode. But he doesn't want that. He doesn't want us to all get along, and I don't even understand.
Have you guys ever heard of the WIFM?
The who?
It's called the WIFM. So fresh out of high school, I got my first telemarketing job at AT&T, and it's called the WIFM. What's in it for me? Okay. It's called the WIFM. And so when there is, you don't see any what's in it for me. You can't identify what's in it for you. Then why would I do it? However, it's not going to keep me quiet and sharing my perspective on what I think other people should be doing, but I'm not going to do anything about it, because what's in it for me, you know? And so that's why it's so, in this time, I'm telling you, it's so important to pick your side. What side you're going to be on? What side are you going to be on? You better be riding with Jesus, because
that's what I was just getting ready to say.
I'm telling you. You better be riding with Jesus, because baby, he cutting up, okay, and he making all crooked places straight. So you better be on the right side of things, because he's not playing, okay?
I don't know if anybody else can see it, but this looks quite biblical to me. I'm gonna leave it right there. Get yourself together.
All these people that have these misinterpreted perspectives, and they have these strong opinions about who should be doing what, when, where, with what. Okay, they gonna say okay. All right.
It's in the twinkling of an eye. In the twinkling of an eye.
Yeah.
That's it. Where y'all going? Because I'm cool. Look, I'm straight over here.
Besides what Cortina, you was talking about the negativity that's coming from it. I think the other negative side of all of this stuff going on in LA is people taking it upon themselves to get upset that celebrities like Beyonce and some other people are not donating more money. If they drop 2 million, it's not enough. They're like, you have more money than that. Why aren't you? I'm like, why are you in someone else's wallet? You really don't know what people have.
When you see John Jones on the side of the street, you only give him $0.25. Why you don't give him $20?
Because somebody had said I would have given them half of my bank account. I'm like, but did you though?
Right.
But did you give half of your bank account?
Because you still can give half. Even if you only got 500, you can get 250.
Right.
But I just really, I think that level of commenting
entitlement
is very immature thinking and quite ignorant to just say things like that.
And if I haven't been led or feel it in my spirit to give, why would I just give? Sometimes you have to ask for knowledge and understanding. And is this in your will for me to give this? Sometimes people give just to be seen, but it's not led by anything emotional or spiritual. It's just to be seen. Like, but if it's dropped in my spirit to do this, then that's what you do. You can't tell people and whoever it is that they're communicating with what they need to do with their money. The only person that we can tell what to do with their money and what they should be doing is Elon Musk, because he's the richest man in the world.
So he can go ahead and grab what's his name, Steve Bezos. Why he building rockets?
Yeah,
go ahead and get him. Y'all come together and get the check ready and just make it happen. Make it happen. So, Mr. Tesla and Mr. Amazon.
Speaking of craziness, and so this one burned me up to my soul. Me and Diana, we talked about this yesterday, and thankfully I talked to you about it yesterday because she was all kind of things to me. This situation, and I don't really want to talk about her. I think it's the overall context of what she did that seemed very immoral and devaluing, which was Allison, Holker, Twitch's wife, putting out all of his private business about himself and in his journals out to the world. I feel like, it's I don't know what her agenda was. It really doesn't matter to me, but I just feel like there's just some things that should have went to the grave, should have just went into the fire and burned up versus be made public to tarnish someone's legacy that people thought highly of. I mean, I think we all are different people behind closed doors, and we can choose to show up how we want to show up to the world. Now, granted, yes, he took his life by suicide, but can you imagine if you're writing all of these private thoughts and you're going through these private struggles and you take your life? It doesn't give someone liberty to air your dirty laundry out when you are not here to have an opportunity to set the record straight, regardless. Because sometimes when people write, the context of how they write, not everybody can get. And so, it also, to me, it removes what is also a very safe and sacred space for people. People journal very private things, not for it to get out. You journal it to get those things out. Yeah. And so I just want to, Cortina, I want to hear your opinion from a therapy standpoint, the impact that this could potentially have for those people going forward who might not now feel comfortable to journal.
I have a lot of clients and we talk about journaling often, right? And one of the biggest struggles I hear is, what if somebody finds it? And finding different and alternative things to do so that their most inner private thoughts won't be discovered by other people. Sometimes people free associate. And like you said, you don't really know the context in which this person was writing that information. You can assume what you think they meant, but that does not mean. Think about how many times stuff gets lost over translation in a text message because context is taken out, the tone sounds different, and you have to have a conversation to get understanding about what that person really meant. The same thing can happen with someone's personal private journals. And I would think that life was already, if someone goes to the extent where they end their lives, they were being tormented by something, right? If I am writing this down because it could be cathartic for me and it just ended up where I felt like I couldn't go on anymore, I would hate to have someone that I shared my bed with or anybody in my family expose that to the world. And my question is, and I'm going to go to the actions around it. You have the family sign NDA because you don't want anybody trying to say things or make money, but you turn around and do the thing that you were trying to protect from. You should have signed your own NDA because it's not making sense. And then to say he had a drug problem. Well, I would think that you would be high when you unalive yourself if you really had a drug problem that deep, right? Toxicology report, he did not have any drugs or alcohol in his system. So maybe in the past he did, but if that was in his past, why are you bringing it to the light when nobody asked for this information? Nobody was checking to say, okay, well, what happened? The report came out, the coroner's report, this is what happened. That's what it is. If you wanted to share your own story about your life, your experience, how this relationship was. You could have even went as far as said everything that was rosy on the top wasn't. That's fine, because that's your experience. That's yours. You have a right to write about that. But to take someone's journal,
yeah,
even if their journal precedes them in death, well, they precede their words, I don't think it's right. I think this is going to have people second guess. Well, should I get my thoughts out on paper? What if I just so happen to croak over today and somebody finds my most inner private thoughts? As a therapist, of course, we would never do that. We're bound by confidentiality and everything. We don't say anything that anybody is going through or have those conversations. But I think as a loved one, to help honor and respect the legacy that you so claim to want to protect, what are you doing? And I don't want to bring race into it, because I think everybody has the capacity to do something. But for me, it stung more because this is a palm-colored individual.
Well, let me say this.
Wait, no.
Even outside of race, though, even outside of race, she took vows. That was your husband. That's what gets it for me personally, is that even though your husband is no longer here with us, you took vows with this man. You bore children for him. You had a life with him. And he was, whatever he was going through, on drugs, not on drugs, depressed, not depressed, whatever it is. But like you said, it had to be something, because he ended his life. As his wife, who is now his widow, don't you still honor what you had? The vows that you took, the legacy that you're that he's left, that you're attempting to tarnish by releasing this type of information. For me personally, it doesn't change the way I view Twitch. It really doesn't. If anything, it really makes my heart hurt, just that much more. Maybe at one point he was potentially on drugs and he kicked it and he was going through depression. Like, you don't know, because he's not here. And I don't care if y'all don't say it, I'll say it. I think she's a horrible person for doing what she did.
Well, and I'm just going to go back. I think, and I said it stung for me more so because she was a palm color person, or is because I think of the undercurrent of racial tensions in America already. There is I feel, and this is just my own feeling, this is not clinical, this is my own Cortina non-therapist opinion, that the racial tensions, and I'm not saying they had that in their marriage, but for me as an outsider, because I'm not in their marriage, I know how I feel. And for this person who says they love you to do this, it reminds me of they want the rhythm, but not the blues. You want to put out all this negative stuff about this Black man who you share children with. And the other daughter, the oldest one, she had her whole spiel that she came out and said and everything like that. And I just don't like the optics of it. Again, I'm not interconnected. I'm not close to it. I don't know it. I'm only watching and seeing what everybody else is watching and seeing. But I did not know that his bonus daughter, the oldest one, I would have thought she was biracial. Mm-hmm. And it feels like to me that, or looks like, I want the good that comes from being associated with this culture, but I don't really care for the culture like that. You can't want to be associated with the culture and not care for the culture.
It's deep. Well, I just say
culture, I'm talking about Black, because if she has a perm, her hair is curly, she looks racially ambiguous. She don't look like her 5-year-old little picture, the girl with the blonde hair and straight, she just doesn't.
Yes.
So I call this cosplay for me, especially if you coming out talking like this. That's crazy. And I believe kids should stay in the kids' places.
I do as well.
And I agree with you, Diana. Like I said, you calling her a horrible person is far better than what I called her yesterday. because you got to be some level of raggedy to decide. And I don't care whether you are a wife, a friend, if you're close to anyone, you have to be some level of raggedy, demonic to just do something like that. I mean, that it's already hard enough in this world, especially when you are of color.
Yeah.
It's already hard enough. And if you have a legacy that is in a really great place, regardless of what you went through, your legacy should stand. All of this nonsense and shit that's coming out about him should never have even hit the airwaves. And if she's being paid for it,
which she is,
she's shopping her book.
Shame the fuck on you. Shame on you.
And very little concern for his parents,
his kids,
like he has family.
Yeah,
like all of this, like it's not just him.
Yeah,
it's his legacy. But what about the people who have survived him, to include your children?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. It's weird.
I'm right there. I'm right there about the kids. I'm going to talk about the kids, the children that she bore for him.
Yes.
Here's the thing, that bonus daughter, okay, you're going to be like a seesaw. You're going to go back and forth, because at the end of the day, you're probably really riding with your mama. Okay. Yep. Let's just really say what it is. But those children that are biologically his, she's going to reap that. Like when those kids get older and they are able to make all things make sense for them, you don't understand the backlash that's going to come from that. You're going to stand up in it. Just like you standing on business with airing it out, you're going to have to stand up in it when it comes time for you to reap what you sowed, and she's going to feel it in those children. Like those children are being impacted by that emotionally, mentally, and physically. And as they get older and they're able to discover and discern that what she did was the devil's work, it's going to come right back around. And I wouldn't be surprised if they became estranged as those kids get older, because one thing about it, we go through things, and as children grow up, they start to understand more about life, especially becoming adults. And then when they become parents, they go off to start, okay, wait a minute, let me go identify why this is happening. Let's identify the generational curses, like all that stuff. And it's going to go right back to mama. Why in the hell did you do that? Why did you do that to us? Because you didn't just do it to him, and you didn't do it to get back at your in-laws because you guys were beefing about how things went down. That impacted us, and you were only thinking about yourself. You did not want to allow yourself to digress, to think about how would this affect my children, the children that I carried for him. You didn't think about us. You thought about yourself. That was a very selfish act. And she's gonna have to pay for it. She's gonna have to read.
Other kids are watching this too. So you think about other kids who are connected to social media, and they are seeing these things. And now your kid has to go to school, and unless your child is homeschooled, that's the only way you're going to protect them. But eventually, you're going to have to leave the nest, and this is what they're going to have to come to grips with and come to reality with. So I'm hoping that she gets them kids some therapy if they're not already in therapy, having had lost a parent that way. But it was just wrong. And what I would also say is that if you have any type of relationships, just don't do it. Things that are told to you privately should stay privately. Things that were not your business in the first damn place, that's because someone's journaling is not your business. It's not your business. That's that person's private thoughts. Just burn it. Just burn it. Don't even read it, because it is very private. That is their intimate moments that they are having, and you don't understand the context of it.
I could see her reading it if she found it as a grieving widow. I could see her reading that, but airing it.
I can see her being angry about what she read, because she read about her damn self, and that's why she did what she did. Let's call it what it is. He put his real raw thoughts about your hoish ass in that book, I'm saying it because that's exactly what it is. You did A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You turned it. You turned trying to turn them kids against them. You're treating his parents like crap. All that stuff he put in that journal. You did not like what your eyes were seeing, and you got pissed off at a dead man. You had no self-control, which means you are you know what?
Yeah. There's something that immediately came to mind, and I have to rebuke it.
She read about herself.
Yeah.
She saw herself in there, and she got angry. And that was her revenge on a dead person. That goes to show just how much, you know what, when you really start identifying character of people, okay, the fact that you felt like you had to retaliate on a dead man, honey, you the one who need to be journaling. You need some therapy. You need help, because ain't no way in hell I'm just gonna get so upset and be just so, I can't believe he said it about me. He dead. What you gonna do? He dead. He has paid. He dead. What you gonna do? He ain't never coming back.
Go to the National
Only thing you can do, right? Like, so you decide to do this. You took this route. What does that say about you? And if people allow themselves to just calm down a bit and stop giving her the attention that she's seeking in this hour and really check her about who she is in character, she'll get somewhere and be humbled real quick, because come on. What does it say about you? I wish I would.
Because even if she's shopping a book, what is letting you know is that she can't shop that book without him.
Right.
She doesn't have a story to tell.
Absolutely. You don't have a storyline. You're irrelevant.
Let me get messy, and I'm going to sell my book because I'm going to sell his secrets.
Somebody told me I can monetize this, so let me just do it.
That's exactly what
I need to stay relevant.
That's exactly what she's doing.
Yep. Yeah.
All money ain't good money, sis.
And that part. And
sometimes it's best to even not respond when you see stuff. It's like, you know what? Okay, you're on a chase for something. You're on a chase to be relevant, and sometimes it's just better not to respond. But people run to social media and they do all these things. I laugh sometimes when I go read comments, like, you know how we say, oh, I ran to the comments when I saw this, right?
Yes.
Here's the thing. Why do you feel like you got to even respond? Like, what in you suggests that you have to respond to something you see about somebody else's opinion? Are you really that, like, where are you in life? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are you really doing?
Not enough. Yeah. Because who has time?
So let me ask you. So let me ask you ladies this. What are things that you feel like are comfortable being said after life? Like, you know, because eventually stuff does leak, stuff does get out. When is it okay to have conversations about people's private life that you shared that with? Are there limitations, or is it just, I mean, of course, sharing someone's private journal is like super, super personal. So that's just a no. But what is considered safe to share after someone is gone, do you think? Nothing?
I think it depends. You know how you can go to a funeral and they give everybody 2 minutes to speak and people be up there saying just the most inappropriate stuff? Some stuff don't need to be shared. Some stuff don't need to be said. I think a good rule of thumb would be, if you were talking about you, is this something you would want people to know? Did they share with you? Were they open about it? Right? Were they open about the different things that they experienced? For example, let's say Samuel L. Jackson, he passed away. His wife can talk about his addiction. Why? Because he spoke about it. He was open about it. He shared it with the world. So he thereby gave permission for other people to either comment on it or what have you. Positive qualities that maybe this person did for you. Let's just say somebody dies and they helped you with a real serious financial situation, one that speaks to their character, that's not painting them in the bad light, right? Mm-hmm. Who wants to be painted in the bad light? I'm not saying lie about anybody, because you don't want to do that, but you also don't want to drag somebody's character when they don't have the ability to defend themselves. If it's something that they need to be defended against,
that's an immediate no.
No, don't do it unless you are doing work. And let's just say you're writing your memoir and something happened to you, like this person sexually assaulted me. That's your, like that happened. Long as you ain't lying.
That's your story.
That's your story. You were raped. You were this. And then, I couldn't get closure. They died. I thought I would never be able to get closure, whatever that is. In that instance, but you're not doing it for them, right? Mm-hmm. You're doing it for you. This is part of your healing journey. So that's why I said, I think every situation is different. It just depends on what's happening in that particular situation that would determine if this is or isn't for me to speak on. For example, if it didn't happen to me, I'm not going to sell a book talking about John down the street is a pedophile. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I might not like him or whatever, but that going into whatever I got going on does what? If he never touched me, I didn't know anything. It's just something I heard. No, but if it happened to me, that's very different, because now that's a part of my story.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it's based on the person's character. Also, like, everyone knows, like, I am just out loud. My ability to be very candid about life experiences and things that I have navigated through and even go through, I'm out loud about it because it's my strength. It defines me. It makes me become, like, I rise to the occasion when I speak openly about the things that I overcome, right? In that case, I don't have any secrets. I'm unashamed about things. These things motivate me to pour into other people. And so for someone to say things like, oh yeah, and I remember, when Shay was in her 20s, she worked at the strip club. Don't leave out the part that the same strip club I worked in, I went and I mentored girls about financial obedience and how to get out of the life and build, and how to put money, build how, like, don't forget that. Don't leave that part out. Like, if you're going to talk about it, I need for you to see it from A to Z. You know what I mean? So talk about it. Don't just highlight what you think is just fun to hear. Make sure it's impactful, because that's the reason why I openly share. Like, make sure the narrative is intact. So, because I'm going to come back and rattle cages. I just know God going to let me do that. I just know He gonna give me that ability and come back. I'm like, hey, you forgot something.
I also think that there is a time and a place for certain conversations or for certain things to be said. I know that, if you are in positive spaces, bringing up negative things, it's not the place for it. If you are at bridal showers, it's a positive space. You two was at my bridal shower, and some people decided to bring up stupid shit versus positive things of how I've impacted their life. It's all fun and games until I'm no longer your friend. Oh yeah, and that's exactly what happened. It was some disrespectful things that was taking place, more than what was just said. But one of the things that was noticed was, damn, you, of all the things that I do, you want to bring up stuff that has no relevance to being here. So there's a time and a place. And like you said, Cortina, funerals are not the place for it either, to be bringing up a bunch of dramatic things. Talk good things about what a person does, because that's still a part of their legacy. No one walks on this earth perfectly. Not anyone. No, and there's not one person who can throw stones at a glass house, and that glass house, when it's thrown back, won't shatter for yourself. So we have to be mindful at how we speak about others. Because we have to understand that these same people or other people can speak on us, and it might not always make us feel good. But like you, Shay, I really don't care what you have to say, but I do feel like there's a time and a place for everything, and those are things that I will check, because I'm alive and I'm able to.
But I do think that people who choose to go down those types of roads, right? A lot of the time people speak, especially when they're speaking negatively about someone, whether they're deceased or living, right? It's to me, in my opinion, and I'm no doctor, about this, but I do find that people do that to give themselves credibility, to give themselves, to make themselves look good or feel good, because it's something on the inside of them that is lacking. So they want to talk about somebody else. So I think that people will be well served when that spirit hits them to, to rattle off at the mouth, to just be quiet and dig deep and really figure out the source of why is it that you feel compelled to say anything about anyone. Be quiet. Didn't I just do a post about being quiet? I think I did. Mind your mouth, your thoughts, and your business. That was the other week. Praise Jesus. Please mind your thoughts, and your business. Okay.
Did y'all hear the little boy? This was years ago when when the little boy was going viral about, listen, Linda, listen.
Yeah.
It was another little boy that came out. He said, worry about your own self.
Yeah.
Yeah, worry about your own self.
Because we all can be consumed with ourselves. We really can. I know I can. I don't know about y'all. I have plenty to be consumed with.
Right.
Do y'all watch? His last name is Phillips. He. I swear he's 60 in a 17-year-old body. Like real, like spiritual. I'm gonna send it to y'all.
I think
I'm gonna send it
What's
to you.
his name? He on Instagram?
Jared Phillips. When I tell you he is
to me.
Oh, he is hilarious. Okay, so he was talking about his girlfriend who posted something. He said, you know what? I was about to say something, and then God said the spirit of backspace. And delete it. Delete whatever you were about to say. Backspace. That is it. I'm not even gonna send it.
Terrence _Phillip?
No, Jared
Phillip.
Yeah. No, but that's a good way to think about it. Like, you know what?
Don't let it. Backspace.
And
Let me tell y'all something. I all the time, like, especially when I want to send an email, like, because you know, sometimes things get, and I could be, and then you know what I do? Delete. Wait, think before you have to take that pause. Cortina, I don't know who it is. I want to know.
I'll send it to you.
Me, on the other hand, I wrote a whole, and then I get it all. I mean, I say it how I feel it, and then the spirit of backspace takes over, and I select all and delete, and then I'll just leave you on red, because that's what you deserve, to be left on red.
Have you ever accidentally went ahead and sent it?
No.
Not in a long time. In my lifetime, yes.
No.
I have pressed send on some things.
I like it now that if for other iPhone users that you can unsend if their phone is up to date. You can unsend. Yes, you can unsend what you sent.
Yeah. But no.
I don't even know how to do that. So it wouldn't even work for me.
Oh, you just like if you hold it down, it'll say unsend, or you can copy. You can it's the same thing, but it says unsend. Oh, I've had to unsend, not for that, but just for if I catch something, I'm like, I didn't mean to send that. I will copy it, unsend, and then I'll paste and make corrections to it or whatever. So yeah,
I didn't know that. I don't know how to edit a little bit.
And I like that you can schedule post. So sometimes if I'm just laying in bed, I can send my morning post early and just schedule it for a certain time.
Stop playing.
You didn't know
that?
I need a tutorial. Wait. See, this is why I'm starting to feel like I'm breaching upon this senior role. I don't know what this phone do.
You can schedule a message.
Yes, you can schedule messages. And so when you are in a post, let me see.
Now we're gonna get a whole little iPhone tutorial. Wait a minute.
Yeah, so you can totally schedule. So when you go, the little plus sign that's at where you can do the camera, the photos, the stickers. Yeah. You can, if you see it, it says send later. Right at the very bottom. Do you see it?
Well, I'm on my iPhone right now. No. My business phone is a joke.
Yeah, it has the. Hold up, let me see.
That's right.
There you go.
I don't think mine have that.
Then you must not have the
I
latest.
see that.
You must not have the latest update.
Oh, and you can
I
change
do got a
the
couple
whole
updates
time
on my
of the day.
Say what?
Girl, this is about to be a game changer. Drop
Ooh.
the mic.
Either one of
Drop
you.
the
Cortina,
mic.
look, first of all, I'm not worried about Cortina. Cortina is never up to date on any of the latest nothing.
I don't know how to do none of that.
She'll just send us.
Cortina not even gonna respond to the text messages. Let's start there. We gonna be unread for a good while. We gonna be unread for a while.
You know what?
I do not agree. Anytime I've ever texted Cortina, she has always responded immediately. So
right?
I do not share the sentiment. I am here to fully support Cortina. That is not your behavior, and I rebuke what they're saying about you.
Well, I ain't gonna be there slandering my name
because I can go unread for a while.
No, this is the thing. I don't know if y'all saw my family. We did shirts 2 years ago, and what they picked for me was the never answer the phone cousin.
Oh, wow.
I have a shirt that says. So all of us, everybody had like the bacon cousin, the rich cousin. Everybody had mine was never answer the phone cousin.
That is awful.
You need to start answering your phone sometimes, or making time to return calls. Anything.
No,
anything could happen.
I know it's really, really bad. I don't know. When it comes to phones, I get anxiety. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. But the next time I call you,
wait a minute. You text me, and I
called you first.
What help? I must was with a patient.
No, it was Saturday.
Oh no, I must was in the bed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I waited till like 2:00.
Damn.
Do you
well,
know
she say she don't get up until
I still would have been in the bed.
Oh Lord.
Well,
still want to be asleep.
Get your behind up.
I'll be tired.
Cortina, thank you for responding to me immediately. Thank you.
Well, you know what? So it depends. It depends on what she's doing or what I need her to answer. But for the most part, I know she'll get back to me eventually.
That's kind of like, let me just put this bug out there, and maybe a day. I mean, sometimes there have been occasions, let me just say, where you do respond. But here and lately, it might be a day.
You're right. It's been a lot going. It's been.
I know.
I know somebody else on this platform that's just now getting to a point that's getting better. So I'm gonna need for her to digress.
Why are you trying to put my business?
I'm just saying. Remember what we
know it's not me.
It's me,
and we know it's not Pam, and it's only other one person in here.
I know. You know how I know it would never be me? Because the way my OCD set up, I look at Cortina's phone and immediately get anxiety. I mean, you should see
it's all blue.
Yeah, but no, there's just a number of where it says the number of text messages you have or emails you have. I'm like, oh my.
You should just delete them all and start from scratch.
I mean, I am sure you got conversations going back to like at least 22,
Oh, 20. I do.
That is draining your battery.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Girl, I'm surprised you got any juice on that phone.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now, I have no problem hearing from her because let me tell you, your daughter is enslaving me over here. I'm gonna start charging. I have all kind of stuff started now. Granted, I'm loving that she's going after every
scholarship,
but that shit is work.
We have applied to 152 scholarships so far.
Ooh, come on, somebody. That's what I'm talking about.
And you know what? And I know that I've gotten quite a few different things like, Morgan Peters is, you got to send stuff. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. I said, I'm going to have to sit on a Saturday one day. And then they have these deadlines. So I try to start them and I remind myself to do them because it's not like just, let me just answer questions. So now it's like a copy paste. I'm like, you know what? Let me copy and paste the same thing into all of these scholarships. It's crazy.
She got her acceptance letter to GSU today.
Okay, but that's still not
okay. But does she?
No, she wants to go to Florida State.
I know. That's why I'm like this.
No, she wants her family was her first choice, and then she got into Temple. too, and Rutgers, and
Well, I like
yeah.
Temple, but it's in the hood, child. Don't be misled.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Temple is smack dead
I know.
in the middle of North Philly. She would have to be careful. Stay on campus. That's all I can say. Walk where the lights are. Walk where the lights are.
All right. Enjoy. Tell Timmy congratulations.
I will.
All righty. Yeah. So they're going to celebrate. I love that.
Celebrate good times.
Come on.
It's time.
Let's celebrate.
Yeah.
We need some music.
Right. You say we need some music. Oh, we girl. I guess happy hour really is not happy hour without some music, but
I'll turn some on.
We are at the end of our time. You know what I
Are we?
right? Yes. And I realized that the only thing I ate today, so I definitely need to eat dinner. The only thing I ate today was a banana and I had coffee.
Oh no, I had some good old Jamaican food right before I jumped on here. So good. Some jerk chicken, some rice.
You didn't have to throw in the so good
cabbage, some plantain. Yes, we had all that.
I had plantain last night, but it was with my Mexican food. I had tacos and tamales and plantain.
I haven't had a tamale in a minute.
Yeah, and the Mr. just got home, and I know he don't have nothing in his hand to eat. So, like he's probably eating. But so who say what now? Who's cooking?
I just said you hungry? What you gonna eat? Miss Banana and a cup of coffee, and it's 8 o'clock. Girl, I will be on the floor.
I don't know. I'll find something in there. Maybe I'll make some vegetable fried rice.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Shay, get your puppy. Get your puppy.
Why is he back there humping?
Girl, he on the couch. He going through
he be flipping.
Look, why he gonna look down? Look, I said something. He like, who's she talking about?
Yeah. When he has a tantrum, he goes to the couch and he flips all the pillows up and then he kicks them on the floor.
That's Suki. Yeah. That is my Suki.
Oh, we're all dog moms. Even Cortina's a dog mom now.
She got a doggy?
Oh yeah, she got. You remember the pit that she had before that they sent to live somewhere else? She got her back. Yeah, she's back.
Oh,
praise God.
Yeah.
Praise God.
So
they don't have to.
I felt bad to know she gave that baby away.
So what are y'all doing for the long weekend? It's MLK weekend coming up. It's his birthday today, I believe. Yeah.
It is his birthday today.
His actual birthday is today. So what are y'all doing for the weekend?
Well, I currently don't have, hold up. I'm not sure yet. I may be going to a parade, but I haven't received the information yet for Martin Luther King Day. So as it stands right now for me, I'm going to be working.
Okay.
On the business.
Get it at it.
I'll probably just sit down and try.
Well, my feed and my story is about to be popping because I will be in New Orleans for the weekend celebrating my sister friend Shakira's 40th birthday. I'm going to a Pelicans Utah Jazz game. I'm ready for a lit weekend.
All right now.
I'm not working. I've had so from Friday to Sunday. Yes, and the good thing is like next week I will be, if everything works out, I will be in LA, in which I'm hoping that since we get there early after work, because I'm still going to work. I just work remote. I will hopefully go out and volunteer some time.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. So
absolutely, and be safe if you guys do go, because it's still not. As it stands right now, I don't know what next week brings.
Oh yeah, of course. And when you were saying how it's moving, I do. It was on the news that the way that the winds are moving, and it's actually moved some going towards San Diego. So it's moved south of LA or further down south of LA, where some people are in San Diego can see the fires more pronounced. So it's moving down, and it's so weird because Orange County, when you're driving from LA to San Diego, you go through Orange County, and it is so beautiful. It's a beautiful drive. And so just to know that either whether you're going up the coast of Malibu or you're going down towards San Diego, that view is going to be very different.
Very much so.
Yes. And and I was telling Jay, I said, imagine when you're flying in, what you're
I
going
don't want to, because I
and
would be scared.
that's going to be the, you from the air, you see an aerial view of
Yeah.
the truth and reality in your face. And so I'm hoping that next week I can go and volunteer a couple of hours of my time, giving back. Yes. And I'm also taking stuff. So I plan to take some stuff there. I don't know how sending stuff, but since I'm going, I said I can, pack a suitcase full of stuff for a box and check it. And when I get to the other side, that I can, take it to a couple of the different locations that are there. Okay, no. So anyone have any last minute anything that they would like to say? Other than tell everybody where you're at and how they can find you, and if you want to shout out anything that you have going on, Shay.
Oh. Well, you can find me on Instagram at The Coach of Courage, and you can also contact me by email at thecoachofcourage.com. I am excited to announce that I will be attending the WBNC March 22nd with these amazing ladies on this platform. So I'm super excited to be a part of this. And yeah, that's what I got.
Well, I am super excited to have you at. Well, let me just go ahead and say it. You guys know you can reach me at Diana Richardson Philippus on all social media platforms. And yes, we do have our 4th annual Women in Business Networking Conference coming up this March 22nd, here in our home base, Atlanta, Georgia, at the Crown Plaza Midtown Hotel. It is going to be a must attend. If you didn't attend last year, y'all better go get y'all tickets. Early bird is going on right now until January 31st. Please utilize early bird, y'all. I'm just excited. And I have my Elevate Igniting Connections for 2025, which was postponed from last weekend because it decided to snow and ice a little bit in Georgia. So it's postponed to the 25th, and they're predicting snow again that weekend. But I digress. That's all I got. That's all I got.
I'm telling you, I am excited about 2025. One, I am the master of ceremony and, for the WBNC. So you will see my shiny face up in the house. Real excited. I'm not, because I said I'm not going to live in a negative space. I'm not going to talk about last year, but I'm so looking forward to this year, and I'm going to mitigate all of those different things that took place last year that happened to me. But for myself, if you follow the My Literacy Foundation, we are kicking off our 2025 schedule. We will be in Fayetteville, North Carolina, June 21st, Jackson, Mississippi, June 28th, Huntsville, Alabama, July 19th, and Savannah, Georgia, and on August 16th. Tickets are available right now for both Fayetteville and Jackson on Eventbrite. Follow the BGBB Literacy Foundation for that information. And then as of today, y'all, the tickets will go on sale tomorrow all the way for October 4th. We will have our evening with authors. But this time, y'all, guess what?
What?
The title is called Black Men Speak.
Yes.
So it's a fireside chat amongst gentlemen. You're talking an all-male panel, all male authors. Women, of course, you're able to go, but we want to hear what they have to say. It's going to be a safe space, awesome time. And of course, you know how we end the night with a comedy show. And all the details are going to be dropped. Already have the location. The tickets will be available as of midnight. Early bird tickets go on sale. And, you're not going to want to miss them. So I'm looking.
When is it going to be?
October 4th in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right.
It's going to be it's a place called the Guest House ATL. It's in Southwest Atlanta. So yeah. So we're going to have a fire time. And unfortunately, I know normally I have it where there's both men and women authors. This time only men, because it's going to be a space where the men are about to show up and show out. So
I know that's right.
The conversations that's going to be had. Shout out to Tyrell Player, who I'm also going to co-host with. and we're gonna get with it, because I can't wait to see what these men got to say. But we're gonna open up and have a safe space for some dialogue right there in Atlanta, Georgia. It's been in Atlanta. This is the 3rd year coming back to Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Yes. And of course, you can follow us on all social media platforms at Herspiration Happy Hour. And of course, go back and listen to some of the previous episodes. This is season 8. We are in episode 2. Y'all, it is just getting better. But thank you for tuning in. We'll be back same time, same place next week. And like we always say, cheers. This is Herspiration.